Just a small scene for today. Bit of fun, bit of silliness. Picture this. A man, fresh from his journeys into the realms beyond, comes back into his home at Diogenes Club. Goes up to his study, notices that the books again have stacked up, and thankfully this time tea is clear. Get into the good habit of making sure that things are cleared and put away before he goes off on his little sojourns. And, well, he doesn't have an awful lot of time. Not right now, at least anyway. There's things going on which need his attention. But he does need to get some messages out, and he does need to find out what's going on with a mission that he placed with some people that some time ago. But having to build a council of traditions in this city. City, of course, is New York. What time do we have to waste for this? He thinks, as he sits down, drawing out some bits of paper from sheaths of paper that look quite new, to have this old smell about them, that mustiness that you get when you walk into a library, to an area where books haven't been touched for some time. He pulls a fountain pen and starts to write 2 letters, one to 2 people. The first one is named and titled for Jade Valentine. The second one is for Dimitris Fortis. The letters are identical. The contents of these letters are thus. Some time ago, I tasked yourself and your colleague, or your former mentor, on a mission. That mission was to work together to look into and construct a council of New York City. Councils consist of most of the tradition mages who wish to have a voice, and a representative of the orphans and all hollow ones. Now, I appreciate there are differences that you do have, but I have actually asked you to do this, and I have yet to hear anything about that. I would like very much for you to attend the Diogenes Club, either as yourself or as a group, to explain how far we are along in this little mission. There are things that I need to attend to, such as this unfortunate position I've landed myself in, which requires me to be away for at least a week. And I think I've sat on my laurels too long. Please return or reply as soon as you possibly can. And for those of whom have not come to the Diogenes Club for some time, think of the colour red when you arrive. It's safer that way. He lights a candle after he finishes writing these 2 letters. He rolls them up, scroll-like, after the ink has dried to make sure he didn't run. When you're doing a small little spell, you did want to make sure at least the contents of those letters are not spoiled. It kind of garbles the end impression. You can't sacrifice the use of a spirit on this thing to deliver the message and then respond in a timely manner. So the wizard, the man, decides to use a sending. Well, just to explain, sendings are fragments of consciousness, like a whim and a thought, perhaps more is sought. They can bear messages and tidings said to people who are far off or in your mind. They're there to replay a message, and then they disappear. Think of the Howlers from Harry Potter. All the messages that speak. One shot, and then they're off. But it still requires a little bit of stuff, a little bit of juice that you need to pull from somewhere. Now, previously in this realm, and in this house, was another spirit that came. A Calcifer, a little flaming elemental. I was just putting there now that sort of enchants this candle. As the man rolls up these 2 letters and sets each ablaze in turn. Letters burn hungrily. Words are said. Gwrando fi alawad. Click I neges hon. Gadain nar. Flame burns down. It must perhaps be something in the paper that starts to turn the fire from its reddish hue to a blue colour. Smoke rises. The smoke itself becomes blue, but rather than dissipating into the evening air, it coalesces into two separate globs. They hang there above the desk, shimmering away, looking very sorry for themselves, but they are only fragments of consciousness. They bounce up and down merrily as the paper burns away to each of them. The man waits patiently for the fire to consume the letters completely. He repeats the words he said again. Hear my call, hear this message, depart now. Gwrando fi alawad, clywch I neges hon, gadael nawr. The fires and the glowing blue embers floating above them change. Little figures approach. Humanoid in appearance, occasionally flashing an image of the face of what the man remembered Dimitros Fortis and Jade Valentine to look at. Unbeknownst to the man, though, the name has changed on one of his companions. And when you change names, spells like this go awry, in some way, shape, or form. Also bears a little fragment of the spirit of Calcifer, a little motive fire essence. So there's hope that when these messages arrive, none of them is smoking, or anywhere near an open fireplace. Things like that tend to sort of react to these kinds of spirits. The man walks over to from his desk to open the window, ushers them away. Two floating figures glide off lazily. One of them even hazards a little wave as it passes by the man. And then two of them disappear into the night, speeding away to wherever they find those two charges they've been asked to send those letters. Let's hope that they don't take too long to respond, says a man to himself. It seems that this city is going to be suffering one storm after the next. It'd be nice to have some stability in here when they return. Oh well, much to do. The man picks up a book, puts away the pen, paper, opens the book a few pages, sits down to read. He realizes he has to deal with something else, puts his book away, and then leaves the room.